Welcome back to another video from Gateshead Pokemon Club. This is the part 2 of the Crushing Current deck that we get. We're going to go through the Gold League Trainers Challenge with it. We're on to game 6 of 12. Up against Juji with a fighting deck. Now with the fighting deck we're actually going to have a weakness against it with a lot of the Pokemon. Spearo's going to be so important in this one because Spearo's actually got a resistance against fighting. Energy onto Spearo, Voltorb onto the bench, Helmet on Spearo, so if he takes any hits at all, we're going to get cards off it. Goes 0 hit. That helmet card must only work when we take damage. Now, opponent heals 30 damage, still not doing any damage to us. We're up 3 energy. All we need to do now is find that Spearo, and we've got the Ultra Ball to do that. Don't really want to discard that energy, so we'll put the energy on. We'll wait another turn for to use the Ultra Ball. Right, this time we've taken damage. No, we haven't. There's the Spearo. Evolve into Spearo. We've still got our resistance against fighting. Our opponent doesn't have any Pokemon powered up on his bench. Take this top prize card here. A Chop evolving into a Machoke. The only problem with that one is it's going to require 2 energy to actually do any attacks. And we know that Drill Run, if we can get a heads on a coin, they lose an energy. So that's not going to stand a chance of getting any energy on it. Tiano, the 3 cards. We'll put a Rattata on the bench because we've drawn the Eradicate. Might have been better to put the Spearo on the bench. Right, are we going to use the Eradicate to evolve the Rattata and then play the Tiano? Play the Tiano first. 3 cards. Evolve into Eradicate. And then energy onto Pikachu, I presume. Right, Lucky Helmet is, as I said, whenever your Pokemon is damaged by an opponent's attack. So where they've actually got a resistance, you don't get the cards if they don't do any physical damage. And I have to watch that stretch kick. For an energy onto Raticate. Spearo's attack is quite nicely keeping off the energy. Kangaskhan onto the bench. I've got to remember that Kangaskhan again is weak against fighting. Still would have been better putting the Spearow. I'm not going to worry about the Shawnee. You can see that the Shawnee card's saying that I can actually use it at the moment. We've only got one knockout left to go. I may use it this turn just to refresh my hand. So our opponents actually managed to do no damage to us at all. Play the Shawnee. Let's see if we can get Raichu out. Unfortunate. And another solid heads. Removes the energy, which means our opponent can only do that. And Skyfield. Right at the end there. This will be our last turn against Juji. We're playing the Skyfield just because we can. Energy on the other Pikachu so that they're both ready to be evolved. We're just going to fill the bench up just for the fun of it. And drill run with the tails for the win. That'll give us our 6th win, and it'll also give us our 6th card unlocked into the deck. So we're going to move on to our 7th battle, which will be our final unlock for this deck. Kendall with a lightning and dark deck. Right, we're going to start off with the Rattata. Eevee on the bench. Because our opponent mulliganed, we get the opportunity to draw an extra card. And we've drawn an Ultra Ball, which will be really handy. We can't play a supporter this turn, so we're just going to wait and see what happens on our next turn. I also noticed there that our opponent requires 2 energy to be able to attack. So we're going to evolve into Raticate. Tiano to get some extra cards. Energy on to Magnemite. Voltorb onto the bench. Dirty Shock poisons our opponent which means our opponent will take 10 damage per turn. I haven't explained that any other time when we've been poisoned, but that's what poison does, but it's each turn. So at the end of my turn I take 10, would have taken 10 damage. At the end of the opponent's turn you take 10 damage. Unless your opponent evolves to heal it off. See that at the end of the turn I took 10 damage. Knocked out my Eradicate. End of the turn. They take 10 damage. Right, energy onto Magneton, Pikachu onto the bench. Electro Ball. But I've got to discard an energy to use it. Now, I did mention last time, Kendall's running the same Circle Circuit Raichu here. We've already got Skyfield in play, however, she's only got 2 Pokemon on the bench, so that would only be able to do 40 damage if they had the 2 energy on Raichu. At the moment I haven't got the 2 energy. Still having to discard energy, which means we're not really going to get a chance to work anything else up. Lucky helmet on. Another energy. Electric Ball for the knockout. We can't let that get any higher. Another energy. Do we go for the energy on the Magneton and a knockout? Or do we put it on to something else? We're going to go for that. Now, as I mentioned before, when we knock those cards out, we don't actually take a prize for it. Shauna, refresh our hand. There's our Raichu. We're going to start and put energy onto Raichu. We're going to try and paralyze our opponent, which works. Paralysis works throughout my opponent's turn unless they've got a card that can heal it. Voltorb evolved to Electrode. Another energy onto Raichu. And another Static Shock. Really what I could have done is I could have retreated at that point and I would have had enough attack to knock out my opponent's Pokemon. Start and build Zapdos up. Retreat. Bring up the Raichu. Circle Circuit. Damage because we've got 5 Pokemon on the bench. Right, Spearow in hand from the prizes. And we've got this one. We'll be putting Spearow onto the bench. Energy onto Zapdos. Just as an insurance. Spearow onto the bench. Shauna, refresh our hand. See if we can get any other basics. Yeah, let's fill bench for basics. And Circle Circuit for 160 damage against poor little Dedenne. And end of game, victory because our opponent doesn't have any any Pokemon left on the bench. And our final card to go into the deck is the DCEs, the double colourless energies. Right, we're going to continue on and do the next trainer, which is Dice. This is just to finish. You can see we've unlocked all 7 cards that need to go into the deck now. So this is our 8th battle. 4 left after this one. Rattata up front. Magnemite and Voltorb on the bench. We've got our Raichu in our hand. Really, we desperately need that Pikachu. You've seen how valuable it is in this deck. Single energy on to Rattata. We have to swap for one of our benched Pokemon. So we'll bring the Magnemite out. Eversworda to evolve. Eversworda is a really good card. I've mentioned this before in the expanded play. Tiano, just to see what we're going to get before we actually decide where energy is going to go. DCE, double colourless energy, onto Spearow. The double colourless energies make such a difference to the white Pokemon in this deck. Tiano again. Going to get rid of a couple of cards that we're not really that worried about, and I have a feeling we're going to be looking for that Spearow. Yep, there we go. Spearow evolve into Spearow. Thunderwave from Voltorb. See if we can paralyze. I think I'll be having quite a bit of luck getting the heads on the coins. Now what I've done there is a little bit of a worry. Putting 2 double colourless energies onto a Pokemon like that can be a risk from crushing hammers and enhanced hammers. The opponent doesn't play them. If you know your opponent doesn't play them, then it's not a worry. Magnemite onto the bench. Energy onto Eevee. Ready for when we manage to get a Jolteon out. I chose just to take the smaller attack there because I didn't need to do the bigger attack. We're going to have to go for the drill run here because that card has the hard candy on. We're not going to be able to knock it out with the smaller attack. Severe poison. There's our Jolteon, and it's now fully powered up. Now the poison is probably going to knock us out at the end of our opponent's turn, even if an attack doesn't. Jolteon can come up now. We're actually 1 prize card behind at the moment. Now I'm going to use Shauna just to refresh my hand. Doesn't look like we're getting the Pikachu. And Raichu's back. We've got a potion there that'll come in very handy. It doesn't take poison damage, but it does heal the damage from poison. potion to heal 20 damage. Extra energy on because we lost an energy through using the attack. Evolve into Raticate. Let's have the helmet on so that it's going to allow us to draw more cards. Now I've left my hand completely empty here, which is a bit of a worry. If I was playing an opponent in real time, they know that I've got nothing in my hand at all. It's always handy to maybe keep 1 or 2 cards in your hand, then your opponent doesn't know whether you've got the card that you need already in your hand. Acrobike for the energy, we need that for the attack desperately. Even with the hard charm on, we still managed to knock that one out. Another energy luckily. As I said, it is a drawback. The Jolteon requires an energy to be discarded each time you use its attack. We just seem to be getting lucky with this, where we're actually drawing an energy every time we want to use the attack. The other issue is we're not getting a chance to put anything on our benched Pokemon at all. So even if we got Raichu out in the next turn, we wouldn't be able to attach energy to Raichu to get it up and running. We don't need to, that's our final knockout. And we move on to our 9th game. This time against Penelope with a Psychic and Water deck. Few options here to start off with. I'm going to get Magnemite out. See if we can actually get some paralyzing attacks going. Energy onto Magnemite. Tatter onto the bench. We would have played the Shauna, but with the new rule of you can't play a supporter on your first turn, obviously we can't play a supporter. Shauna to refresh our hand. Jolteon, we've got to evolve up to Jolteon and use Shock Generator, which misses. Now our opponent will be able to attack this time because they've now got 2 energy that's required for an attack. We'll be able to use the potion and just get rid of the attack as if it never happened. Tiano gives us few cards into our hand. Second energy onto Magnemite. Lightning Ball. Another Tiano for another 3 cards. Zapdos on bench. Yep. DCE onto Spearow. Again, that's so that we can get that Fearow out. We may well use Winona to be able to find the Fearow next turn. It's not just basics. I'm going to bring Spearow up because he's the only one that's got any energy on him at the moment. We know now to look for 3 white Pokemon. We're going to pull out 2 Kangaskhan in our Fearow. I've decided no. Checked what was on the bench, and we've gone for the Raticate so we can get that evolved. So we've got to knock out with Fearow this turn. Unfortunately, we haven't got any energy there to put on. And the first of our energy. Now the big question is, where are we going to put our energy? Onto Fearow so that we can get it powered up. If we get an energy this next turn, that'll get our big attack on Fearow up and running. Super Potion. Now the drawback with a Super Potion, it discards an energy from your Pokemon. That means my opponent couldn't attack because they didn't have a water energy on. I've only been able to do 30 attack because I didn't get the energy to attach this time. We really could do with an energy this turn. Fortunately, we're not getting it. Pikachu onto the bench. We've got Pikachu and Raichu in hand now. And we're filling the bench up ready for Raichu to come into play. Because Fearow's being knocked out, we're going to have to bring something up in the meantime. So I have a feeling we're going to use this just as a stopgap. And we're going to get the Raichu powered up with the energy that we've just got. Raticate onto the bench. And pass turn. Now we're kind of relying on our opponent knocking out this Kangaskhan. I think we'll bring something up as a stopgap in the meantime. And we got the energy, so we really need to, but it's still best to. Raichu in the clear. See, we're well behind at this stage because we've had to use a couple of sacrificial Pokemon just to be able to get our bench powered up. We'll get the other Kangaskhan back out. Gives us another basic on the bench. Circuit for 140 damage. Up your helmet again. Now this deck does play the Crushing Hammers. Luckily it failed. Circuit for the knockout. Pikachu will go onto the bench in our next turn. Our opponent uses an Amnesia to knock us out. Luckily, we've got Zapdos ready to go. Now we can attach that to Zapdos you can see the attack requires 1 colourless energy. The drawback with Zapdos's attack is it does do damage to your own bench. But we've got Kangaskhan there that's going to act as an energy sponge just to take a couple of hits. Another energy. Put on Pikachu. Hopefully we'll get another Raichu up and running. Got to put this damage somewhere, so I'm going to put it onto Spearow. It seems like a bad idea, but what we'll do is next turn we'll evolve it to Spearow. And we're down to 1 prize each. There we go. Raging Thunder, and we'll just put it on Kangaskhan. And we've got the knockout win. Right, well. That's the end of this video. So, thanks for watching. There's a third and final part for this deck. And once we've completed that, I'm going to do a video just finishing off the last single game on each of the opponents for the Gold League. So we will have totally completed the Gold League. I'll probably not be going through in detail like I am with this. If there's any bits that I think that are worth highlighting, I'll do that from each of the games. I'll show you the start, show you the finish of each game, and then any highlighted parts in between. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe. Once again, if you think that we're doing the right sort of things, leave a comment. If you think we're doing the wrong sort of things, leave a comment. Tell us what we can do differently. Help us out. Bye for now.